Today I was making these train pieces from Black Magic Craft. I've yet to make the trees. I was thinking, how could I add more to them? So I made these bushes really fast, really simple, because I don't have time these days. And the main part of this is that it's bare minimum. It's not like we're getting super into detail. This is going quick, making 20 minutes at most. So here's the materials you'll need. Main ingredient will be steel wool. This will make the bushes itself. Next we'll need spray adhesive. It could be really any brand, it doesn't really matter. I just had this type. Ingredient is flocking or turf. It's basically just to put on the bush to make it look green. Side note, you will probably want to have a toothpick or like some sort of rod to stab into the steel wool, and a drying rack. So I just used styrofoam. What you want to do, take your steel wool, open it up, and tear off a small little piece. It can make any type of sizes. Look at this current size I've made. Generally, they tend to be like yay big. You can make different sizes if you want different types of bushes. Like I'm gonna make a smaller piece, like a smaller bush, using this one. But it's all up to you how big the size you want it to be. As I said before, you'll first start off by tearing the steel wool we got here. It's pretty simple. You tear it, and you start crumbling it up like into a ball shape. This shape is all up to you on what you want, and the size and everything as well. But so you're just gonna get our own little bush. Next, you're gonna want to take your toothpick and stab it into the base of the bush. Now, if there's a side that you don't really like too much in particular, for whatever reason, that's the side you want to stab, because that's what the bottom is going to be. Now that we got our steel wool on our toothpick, we are ready to start putting the flocking and using the glue. Last note is, if your bushes have any like little wool strains coming off, I know it's very hard to see because my quality of my camera is awful, but you can just easily take a scissors and cut them off. For this next part, you are going to want to go outside, because spray adhesive is not good to breathe in. You need it to be a well ventilated area, such as outside. So yeah, just make sure, for safety and for your health sake, make sure you go outside when you're using spray adhesive. So I did lie. There is one more material, and that is newspaper, because with your flocking, you're going to want to catch it and put it back inside. So what you're going to do is you're just going to fold a crease in the middle so it's easier to pour back in. So, alright, so what we're going to do next is take your spray adhesive and your thing. You're just going to get a good coat all over it. Make sure you shake it beforehand so you get no splurges, nothing unexpected. Once you have it fully coated, you're going to take your turf over the newspaper. You're going to take your turf and sprinkle it all over, completely cover it. You want to cover it all completely, so there's no steel wool left you can see. And don't worry about wasting, because you won't, because you have the newspaper, so you can just get all over the bush. Just like that. And then if you want, you're going to want to try to get any excess off, because some of this is going to come off, but that's okay. We're going to let this dry for, I'd say, about like 5 minutes or so. For that 5 minutes, you can work on other bushes if you're going to make any others. Yeah, it's going to take like 5 minutes or so. You're going to want to let it dry, depending on your brand of adhesive, before we're going to do a second coat to make sure it locks in. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes or so. We're going to take back our adhesive, and we're just going to spray it right back on. Do it kind of lightly. You don't want the glue to get on and make it so you can see it. Sorry, I had some stuff in my adhesive. it's just making sure that it locks in. So it's just making sure the flocking stays in there, the turf stays on there, so your game board does not get messy. Just all over it. Make sure it stays on there. You're going to want to let this rest for about an hour or so until it's completely locked in, and then your bushes should be ready to go. They will be a little bit sticky to touch, but since you probably won't be touching them that often, it probably won't matter at all. So that's all you have to do. So back inside now, after an hour has passed, our bushes are now complete. I made some more, as you can see. Put it in the styrofoam. It's really nice for a carrying rack. A good example of having too much glue, the spray adhesive I mean, is these two bushes right here. You can see how they're a little glossy. That's when you put a little bit too much on. Now it doesn't make it. It's not the end of the world. It's not gonna make it look too bad. It just it makes it, you know, just a little detail. A little thing I've noticed, I actually dropped this bush in particular into the dirt by accident. And as you can see, maybe you might see how there's a wooden chip on it. I kind of realized that you could decorate it perhaps by putting like rocks and tiny sticks, like tiny sticks all over it. It might make it look a little bit more natural. It's all up to you. But thanks for watching this this tutorial, and if you have any suggestions, put it down in the comments below. I just did this to make sure, just so you can make some easy bushes. It doesn't cost that much, and the main thing is that it's easy. It does not take that much time, and hope you enjoyed.